Get ready for an epic showdown in the world of Formula One. Imagine two F1 legends, David Coulthard and Nico Rosberg, going head-to-head in a heated argument right in the middle of a French airport, with none other than Max Verstappen witnessing the clash. It's not your typical airport scene. The adrenaline of the racetrack spills into the terminal. So let's dive into this video today to know the inside scoop of the F1 legends' clash at the airport. David Coulthard and Nico Rosberg, two Formula One legends, have a long history. Even though Coulthard and Rosberg raced in different eras during their Formula One careers, they were both on the F1 track together in 2006, 2007 and 2008. Coulthard drove for Red Bull, and Rosberg was with Williams during those seasons. And in 2008, his final Formula One race in the Brazilian Grand Prix didn't end well, as Rosberg caused a crash on the first lap. Rosberg caused a collision at the start, and then Coulthard got hit by Rosberg's teammate Kazuki Nakajima, sealing Coulthard's did not finish, DNF. He recalled the incident during his last Grand Prix in Brazil, saying, "He did spin me around at my last Grand Prix in Brazil in the Senna S's." He described how, as he was sitting there watching other cars pass by, Rosberg's teammate Nakajima crashed into him, leading to Coulthard's exit from the race. That day, Hamilton won his first title in the rain, which kind of stole the spotlight from Coulthard's retirement. After retiring in 2008 and getting his last race messed up by Rosberg in Brazil, Coulthard felt upset. He admitted feeling a little bit aggrieved because the German driver didn't take responsibility for spinning him around when he approached Rosberg afterward. This added to their history of tension. So, after the 2008 season, Coulthard moved on to become a pundit, analyzing F1 races. Meanwhile, Rosberg continued racing until the end of 2016. But the real problem between them happened after they both stopped racing in F1. Years after their crash, while both are now working as TV analysts for Formula One, Coulthard tells a story about a time when things got really heated. He talks about the time when both of them lived in Monaco, and one year while flying back home from a race in Japan with Max Verstappen's family and a few others, things got heated between Coulthard and Rosberg. He mentions that Max Verstappen, the current world champion, was there too, but had to watch from the sidelines as things got tense. Recently, Verstappen reminded Coulthard about this incident during a flight home. Well, during that fight, Coulthard flipped his chips. Continuing the story, Coulthard shared more details about the incident during a Formula for Success podcast. He revealed that Max Verstappen brought up this story when they were talking during the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He further explained that during their conversation, Verstappen and his father Jos, a three-time world champion, discussed how Rosberg had made a comment that really upset Coulthard. Taking a step back in time, Coulthard talked about the airport incident involving Rosberg. He mentioned, "And I was actually talking with Max Verstappen and his father Jos in Abu Dhabi, and for whatever reason, Nico came up in conversation where there was a flight back from Japan, and a bunch of us were on that flight via Dubai." He continued the story saying, "I think Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Max, myself, and a few others were flying together from Dubai to Madrid after the race. Arriving at Nice and waiting for their baggage, Nico approached Coulthard and said, 'Hey DC, by the way, remember, everything we've discussed is off the record.'" Coulthard admitted that this comment really bothered him. As a former driver, Nico seemed to think Coulthard might leak their private talks like a sneaky reporter. Coulthard clarified, "He obviously thought that as a current driver, I was some kind of tabloid journalist and I was sneaking away all these stories we've been sharing." According to Coulthard, Rosberg's comment portrayed him as a sneaky tabloid journalist, and it struck a nerve. With that, Coulthard couldn't recall Nico sharing anything interesting during their talks. He believed that he had a much more eventful past and more interesting stories to share. When Nico made that off-the-record comment, it really got a Coulthard. He said, "Anyway, it touched a nerve, and my neck changed color, and I flipped my chips," is the expression we would have. Max Verstappen remembered that moment vividly. Everyone around them fell silent as Coulthard got really upset with Nico. Coulthard explained how Max recalled the situation. Max was recalling the fact that Everyone just stood there in silence as I go off on one at Nico, and he's going, "Well, I don't understand." And I'm like, "Well, that's the problem, Nico. You don't understand." Following their intense exchange, Coulthard shared that the two managed to talk things through, and their relationship has significantly improved. The Scotsman revealed, "Fortunately, Coulthard said he and Rosberg have since moved on from that point. In fact, the improvement in their relationship was evident in a gesture of trust." Coulthard mentioned Rosberg even borrowed Coulthard's 280 SL Mercedes car for his wedding. This shows a level of trust and friendship that has developed between them over time. Coulthard acknowledged this positive change, stating, "Anyway, as I'm sure Nico will be aware of this segment of the podcast, we've moved on from that point. It seems like both parties have matured and put the past behind them." Surprisingly, Coulthard even went on to share a friendly anecdote, saying, "He did borrow my 280 SL Mercedes for his wedding, which I was very happy for him to do." Coulthard further revealed, "He has asked if he can borrow a kilt for a Scottish wedding that he's going to, which I've got several. I'm very happy to lend him a kilt, so we've moved on from some difficult moments." The fact that Rosberg felt comfortable asking for a kilt for a Scottish wedding suggests a level of camaraderie and trust that goes beyond their past conflicts. The podcast offered Coulthard an opportunity to share these details and explain how Rosberg's actions during their F1 careers and the subsequent incident during the flight from Japan continued to impact their relationship. Nico Rosberg matured into life in F1 retirement. Further, explaining why Coulthard believes his relationship with Rosberg has improved since their F1 days, Coulthard mentioned a surprising turn of events just days after Rosberg clinched the 2016 World Championship from his Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton. Coulthard pointed out that it was easy for a driver like Rosberg, who faced immense pressure battling Hamilton, son of world champion Keke Rosberg, to get overly focused. However, since retiring from the intense racing scene and securing a world championship title, Coulthard observed that Rosberg has grown and changed for the better. He expressed, "But now, out of that high-pressure environment and retired with world championship success to his name, Coulthard feels Rosberg has matured into life." He highlighted that Rosberg might view things differently than most people. He emphasized, "I think it's fair to recognize that Nico sometimes sees things a bit differently from the majority." Moreover, acknowledging Rosberg's journey, Coulthard praised his championship win and the remarkable feat of competing against Hamilton for so long. He added, "But I think he's matured into his life in retirement in a way that maybe when you're so blinkered as a driver and coming up as a son of a world champion and alongside Lewis for so many years and then finally overcoming it, he's earned his stripes. I've got tremendous respect for his championship and what he achieved, and I think he's matured into life." Switching gears to the present, Hamilton, now paired with George Russell at Mercedes, is eyeing a return to the F1 title scene in 2024. He aims to secure what would be a record-breaking 8th World Championship, with his last victory dating back to the 2021 Saudi Arabian GP. Meanwhile, Rosberg has shifted his focus outside the F1 realm, investing his time in his own motorsport endeavors. The 2016 world champion ventured into the electric rally racing series Extreme E and established the Rosberg X Racing team. This move proved to be highly successful, with the team clinching 2 of the first 3 championship titles. Sharing his thoughts on this new chapter, Rosberg stated, "Extreme E is my kind of start as a team boss and owner. It's been a very successful first 3-year journey." However, he also revealed a personal choice, explaining, "My problem is that I'm not ready to dedicate my life to a project like that ever again, as I did as a racing driver, because I appreciate my time at home too much, time with my kids and my wife and my family." So, what do you think of the epic fight between the two Formula One legends? Comment below and subscribe for more.